Hey y'all, this is Marley K. Hope y'all are well. I'm trying to catch up on the content that I was supposed to be putting out, but I wasn't because I was working very hard. Um, Yesterday, I took my grandson to Wally World. I'm speaking in code because there are certain things you can't say thanks to disinformation and all those things. So bear with me. Um, I went to Wally World yesterday to take my grandson to get a watch. I typically do not go there, but because where we live, we have very few places to shop. So, depending on what it is that you want, sometimes that's the best place to go. And so, I wanted a really inexpensive watch because he's just 6, but he saw a watch and he decided he needed a watch. And he's been talking about a watch since Sunday. So we went to get a watch, and I'm trying to, put into him some little things like I did for my sons. And he's just an interesting little character, way older mentally than his age, but he's just so fun to be around. He reminds me of my youngest son, which is not his father. So it's also interesting how my oldest son had children and they all act like my youngest son. So it just brings back good memories for me. And plus I'm a boy mom, so anytime I'm just around, young people, in particular young men, I tend to treat them the way that the world does not treat them. So, we were out just talking. I'm asking about school and we're having a conversation and we're going to get the watch. And so as I'm walking through Wally World, I'm looking up at the ceiling. The store is looking different. Of course, they have way more self checkouts than they did last year, this time when I moved back. But there are lots of shipping containers in the parking lot, far away from the door, so you wouldn't necessarily notice them. But I still notice them because I'm looking for stuff. And then I go into the store and I'm looking up in the ceiling because I'm looking for all these new sensors for this digitalization that is happening. And sure enough, I look up, the aisles are moved around, shuffled around, and you see this new labeling on the shelves, and you look up and you see these metal pipes coming out of the ceiling, like for wiring, a lot of them. And so I stood up in the store and I just started looking around. And in addition to the cameras, of course, there are more cameras in the ceiling than ever. But this new wiring, I'm sure it's going to be connected to the new shelving or whatever new system they have, where you're going to have to boop, boop, get your stuff and boop, boop, check out. Everywhere you go, you're going to be on camera and you're going to be um, tracked. So I was thinking, ooh, this is going to be not good. And the other thing is, like, they have so many cameras. Like when you get to the checkout counter, you also have a camera. So everything that you picked up and put in your cart will be tracked. When you get to the checkout counter, you'll be tracked, and they'll be using facial recognition to recognize you. I'm not sure about the payment system, but there was a option when I went to pay to ask me if I wanted to have my receipt texted to me. Now, the register that I went to was a self checkout, but the camera didn't work on the register, which I was glad for. But you could see where they are getting everything installed, so it will work. But what I found interesting this time is that they had an option, like if you go to, say, um, a big box hardware store, and they'll ask you if you wanted your receipt texted and printed, or email. And so at Wally World, these options came up, and I was like, oh, this is new. This is interesting. So now you're going to have your phone number connected so they can text you, and you'll have to have your email connected so that they can email you a receipt, which also means they'll probably have your bank account information or your card information or your digital wallet information. And so this is just, one of those little things to make you feel as though you're getting a convenience, but really it's to track you. So, on the way out, I was disturbed. I was listening to my grandson talk. He was all happy because he got his watch. But I was just thinking about how fast these retailers are transitioning into this digitalization that we've been talking about for like the last maybe year. And it's going to be everywhere, even in little small towns. I moved here to get away from some stuff, but there are some things that I'm not going to be able to get around. If you're going to go to a big box retailer, which I try my best not to, and because I'm so simple these days, I can get around it for the most part. And if I have to do it, I will. But the day is coming where you're not going to be able to go to these big box stores to shop. And you're not going to want to because it's going to require you to participate in this system. And so, it's bittersweet because I get to see the system transitioning right before my eyes while other people don't see anything wrong with anything. They just see self checkout, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, just something that we got to do." Other people are like, "I ain't paying for that. I'll just go to Publix." And that's what I do. I go to the grocery store where real people ring up the groceries and real people bag your groceries, and you can still tip. I'll pay more for my groceries. I don't mind doing that because that's what I'm accustomed to. And until I can get my garden to grow and I don't have to go to the grocery store, that's what I will be doing. So I go to the local grocery store in my town, and it's more expensive because it's the only grocery store here, but I'll shop here first. And I try to shop places where I can actually go and do business with a real person. I try my best to. I also try to minimize how much I shop. Now, sometimes I can't help it. Like there are some things because I live in a small place, I have to shop online and have things sent to me. But it's only also because I'm kind of in this aggressive preparation mode. So there are some things I don't have time to wait. I don't have time to hunt. Plus, I'm trying to work and um, just do some other things. So I have to order some things, and like I said, because of where we live, you're not always able to get what you need. But we have a small hardware store here owned by a family. I'll go there. We have two actually. Um, Most minimal things that I need, I can get here, and I'm almost 100% certain those people would be rebellious. They're not going to go along with the system. Same with the Mennonites in the community. So, one reason that I chose to come back home is because of the type of environment that I would be in when it comes to digitalization. There are options because there are some people who understand what time it is. They understand about the beast infrastructure. They understand about tyranny and what's happening. So they're going to rebel and resist. Whereas, you have a whole pocket full of people who live in the same area who are not going to know anything until it's too late. And by the time they figure it out, they're just going to roll right into the system because they believe that it's convenient and it's easy. Or they may have hardships and they didn't plan, so they're just going to go into it because they got to feed their children. They want their check. They need their benefits. Um, they're accustomed to swiping a card. They don't care anything about independence or privacy. Their philosophy is they don't have anything to hide. They don't see the big picture. So it's going to be interesting watching these stores transition. But what I'd like for you to do is comment in the comment section if you have seen or you noticed in your area, stores transitioning quietly and not saying anything. And notice, they're recording us and sharing our information across all these different companies. Nobody's asking for your permission. But if you go to the Walmart website, they do have a in this particular instance, I ordered something from Walmart. I'll say babe, July. And I noticed when I was looking for customer service info, they had a link where you could ask for your information to not be shared. So, like, you literally have to opt out of your information being shared everywhere you shop, or they will share your information. It's not opt in, it's opt out. If you shop with them, you are agreeing to opt in, and you have to go hunt to see if you're opting out. So, let me know in the comment section if you have seen any changes in your stores, whether it's convenience stores. Um, I went to a gas station in Columbia, and the gas station didn't have an attendant. Well, they had an attendant, but everything was self checkout. And I was like, well, what happens if somebody don't pay for something? They just leave out? Like, what happens? So I don't know if they send these pictures to the police department or, I told you I've been seeing these stories about people be arrested because of facial recognition. They didn't pay for something, and then all of a sudden they're in trouble because they didn't pay. But just be careful in these stores, y'all. They're transitioning while all this other stuff is going on. We have all these distractions. And while these distractions are distracting, these stores are going on with the new agenda. They're preparing for when the old system goes down and the new system goes up. So, understand everything is going as planned. It's gradual, it's quiet, it's happening right in your face, in most people's faces, and they don't even know it. Um, it's like a snake bite, but the venom is killing you slowly, like a frog being in a pot of water, and the water is gradually heating up, but the frog don't know it. It's just swimming around having a good old time. People are going to wake up one day and they're going to be in a prison, a digital prison on a digital plantation. Those of us who are left, who don't get burned up by the fire, if we're here, because I don't want to be here for none of it, but I'm just saying. I don't know how far along into this we will get for those of us who are here and awakened. So I just like to talk things out because I don't know. We don't know anything. We can pray and hope, but we see signs, but we don't know how far along things are going to go before we are, you know, swept out of here, or we receive an exodus, or are granted mercy and a reprieve from what's to come. But we have to prepare to endure to the end, and enduring to the end also is being aware of the traps that are set and not um, participating once this new thing goes online. So pay attention to your big box stores, pay attention to your small stores, gas stations, convenience stores, drug stores. These stores are transitioning really fast. They're building new stores, and the new stores are automated and digitalized, from the gate, even dollar stores. So if you see this happening in your community, drop us a line and tell us what you see, and when you started noticing the changes, about how long it's been. Was it since the or has it been like more recently, like within the last year or so? I haven't been here a lot over the last 3-4 years, so I can't tell. how much has changed, but I can tell that over the last year since I've been here, how many stores have converted, just like that. Um, and now that we're getting ready to go back into another hibernation scenario, it's really going to be interesting how fast things change, because that's what happened the last time when the first hibernation, forced hibernation happened. When we came back out, stores had switched. Big box retailers had kiosk in, and people were laid off. Everybody was happy because they were getting 14, $15 an hour because of the the pandemic work. And then people got raises, and then the next thing you know, they were laid off and automation took over. You were ordering your food from kiosk. You were participating in self checkout at the grocery stores. So first line, what is it called? Frontline workers were out of work after all they had endured during the thing back in 2020, 2021. So life is changing, y'all. Things are happening. It's just a data point, nothing to be fearful about. But you do need to be aware, as you are out and about, that this system is getting ready to change, and the things that you take for granted, the purchases that you can make privately, as private as possible, are getting ready to end, and you will be having to use digital means to buy or sell. So get ready, keep prepping, keep praying, keep seeking the Most High, keep asking for forgiveness daily throughout the day for sins of commission and sins of omission. Get into your word and read about what's to come, because trust me, you do not want to be here for none of this. Um, Try to wake people up, although it's hard. I understand, because I'm living with the same thing. Um, a lot of people are just asleep, especially a lot of Black people. We are the last to know, but the um, most likely to be impacted negatively because, one, of ignorance, and two, because of poverty. Um, we're going to be locked out of this system. So the more people you can wake up, the better it is for them, and the better it is for the rest of us who have been prepping and who are awakened, because whether we want to believe it or not, we have been chosen to be leaders for this time period. And I think that it is going to be imperative that we try to get people ahead of the power curve as much as possible. So keep prepping, keep praying, keep seeking the Most High. Pray for the awakening. Pray for our brothers and sisters across the diaspora, the Israelite community scattered all over the globe, who are struggling and dealing with the same stuff that we're dealing with here. Um, and just keep our people lifted up in prayer. Our people who are sounding the bells. I mean, I've never been so prouder of Black people. Black people are online singing it and bringing it, telling the truth, left and right, everywhere. Black leaders, people are breaking free from denominations, and um, willing to sacrifice and be vilified in order to speak present truth. People are learning and doing research for this awakening, and trying to wake up brothers and sisters everywhere, and telling us about biblical prophecy and who we are. Um, People are talking about health and healing, holistic means to take care of ourselves. There are brothers talking about mental health, for our brothers and for our sisters, getting in shape. I mean, just so many things that are happening right now. And it's just really beautiful to see, those of us who have decided to step up to the plate and take on this challenge. It's not enough of us, but there are enough channels out here giving people information that if they wanted it and were interested in finding it, they could find it. Unfortunately, we are crowded out by a lot of nonsense when it comes to these gender wars and these black men, black women sharing unbiblical revelations and petitions for likes and shares. You know, people don't realize when you watch this stuff over and over again, these people are getting paid. You know, you're getting something from this, but the algorithms are sharing it in particular to our community because they have an agenda. And it's prevalent because these people have an agenda. So anybody who's saying the wrong thing, anybody who's encouraging us to live outside of the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, they getting top billing. You know, if they're telling you to be with strange women or stay single, that ain't what God told us to do. That's not what the Most High told us to do. But people are eating that up, hook, line, and sinker. It is unnormal. It is abnormal. It is not right. It is not what the Most High commanded, and I'm just gonna say it's demonic. The same with our sisters. Our sisters, we ain't supposed to be out here looking for brothers to take care of us just because you messed up your life. You looking for help, or maybe a brother messed up his life. He looking for help. We're supposed to be trying to fix our messes that we've made because we were living in Babylon, and so we should have a um, Israelite point of reference for everything, and yet we don't. And we have so many people who are loud and proud and wrong in our community, and they're really doing us a disservice right now, especially um, our brothers. Well, I can't say everybody, both the brothers and the sisters. Everybody is messed up, and the parents got the kids messed up. The kids watching witchcraft and alphabet soup and Elemental Peters, even the darn Sesame Street stuff. You can't watch nothing. Um, it's crazy. But we must endure to the end. And so that means navigating all this mess, figuring out what's real and what's fake, figuring out the truth from the lies, and then doing what we need to do in order to wake our brothers and sisters up. Because as you can see with this digitalization that's happening, while folks are talking about modern men, modern women, real women, men should do this, women should do that. They putting up stuff in the grocery store, and these people not even preparing to not take the mark. None of that stuff matters, what they're talking about. And if you really get down to the nitty gritty, it's all because we have Babylonian views about each other. We got to decolonize and detox Babylon out of our system. And that's the thing that, a lot of brothers and sisters are not talking about. So while we are arguing with each other, Babylon is moving right along to ensnare us and enslave us on their digital plantation. So keep waking up your brothers and sisters, y'all, because we're getting down to the wire. Once they have all their things in place, all they got to do is flip a switch and it's a wrap. All right, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Please hit that bell notification so that you will be notified each and every time I upload new content. Follow me on Rumble and Odyssey. Links are in the description. Also on Instagram and Facebook. Links are on also in the description. In the event that I am suspended from this channel, I will communicate via those other channels. Um, those are my backup channels. I just don't want to even be bothered with another YouTube channel. To me, it's just not worth it. They control everything. When I say they, y'all know who they are. They're powers. And I just don't want to be bothered anymore. So with that said, y'all, keep praying and keep prepping. Time is running out. All right.